Elsewhere, on Friday, the FBI arrested the foreign-born Democrat mayor of Lawrence, Massachusetts, 61-year-old Brian DePena, for stealing $1.5 million in COVID relief funds to pay for his own campaign, to pay the taxes that he owed this country, and to pay off his own personal debts on multiple mortgaged properties, which amounted to $880,000 in local properties. So, basically, he used your money to make himself rich and to buy property that you can't afford to buy and to put himself into a position of power over you. Do I have that right? Because it sounds like I have that right. And that sums up this case. DePena went viral last year when it became apparent that he cannot speak English despite living in this country for many decades. And now he is in the spotlight again because he has been charged with fraud and money laundering. The U.S. Attorney Leah Foley pointed out, Mayor DePena was elected to be a leader for the city of Lawrence. He was looked up to and trusted by his constituents, but he betrayed that trust through his alleged corruption and lies. Today's arrest is just another example of our determination to root out fraud by anyone, even public officials, and holding elected officials accountable. The backstory here is that DePena was born in the Dominican Republic. In 2021, he was elected as the mayor of Lawrence, Massachusetts, which is 83% Hispanic and sits about 25 miles north of Boston. DePena was then re-elected in 2025, but court documents accused DePena of using his tire business to obtain our government's COVID economic disaster loans, which he then stole from his business and used to provide himself with personal monetary gains. In just one round of this long-term fraud, $350,000 was deposited by our government into his business account, and DePena used $85,000 of that to pay off the personal tax debts that he owed to us. Yes, he used your stolen money to pay you what he owed you. I mean, there really isn't much more nerve than that. Then investigators say that DePena moved another $120,000 into his own personal account, where it became his private spending money. I don't know about you, but I didn't get $120,000 to play around with. Before stealing that business loan from us, the taxpayers, that's where the tax money comes from. Government doesn't have a dime of its own. Every dime it has comes from us. Before stealing that business loan from us, his personal account had a balance of $20. But we're just getting started here. On top of that, according to the court documents, DePena wrote $90,000 worth of checks to the committee to elect Brian DePena with that stolen money. At this point, he even received a second round of loans from our government, approved by the Small Business Administration in October of 2021. They gave his tire company another $1,154,188. At this point, even despite his previous theft of our money, his personal bank account was back to having only $1,401 left in it. So, I mean, if you're keeping track, 110K went poof in about a year. 110K that was stolen to begin with. Then DePena stole the entire second round of COVID business loans and moved all of it to his personal account so he could keep spending. From there, he used another $42,000 of our stolen money to fund his campaign to be elected as mayor. But according to prosecutors, the bulk of it, $883,293, went to pay off the debts that he had on multiple properties that he owned in Lawrence. So he was literally using your money, which he stole from you, in order to make himself a wealthy landlord of multiple properties that he could charge you for in the country that took him in and even elected him to power. Power that he also achieved by stealing from you in order to pay for his campaign. If he is convicted of these crimes, DePena could be subject to hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines, on top of a possibility of spending more than 20 years in prison. I'm just going to be real honest with you right now. Many more of these stories, and I am going to become in favor of confiscating everything that they own to recoup the losses of what they stole from us, and then making them pay off the balance of whatever remains in prison work, like chain gang style. And while we're on the subject of awful left-wing people grabbing for power over the rest of us,